Then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again. And
That was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to see
doesn't
that.
work.
I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
again, like I said.
Good morning, good day, good evening, everyone. Welcome to BattlefieldOne Podcast, the best Battlefield-related podcast on the planet. The number one destination, anything Battlefield. My name is Tom, also known as the Lanky Soldier. I'm your host for this godforsaken show, and I'm being joined by Florida man himself, Ray Edmunds.
Hello.
And our returning guest, a German, just German, Andre.
Hallo.
Hello.
Yeah, the most German accent ever.
Leave it to the goddamn professional.
We have an amazing episode for you all. We're gonna talk about the leaks that happened yesterday. Asia had a playtest yesterday, and EA gave them NDAs and everything, and players in Asia just said, bet. And they just released all the leaks, all the footage in full, crystal clear, 4K footage, 144 Hz, whatever the case may be. Everything is clear and as day, and we just talked about the leaks and everything, and the community reactions to the leaks. And so far, the reactions from the community about this new Battlefield game are very positive. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about some leaks that happened regarding the Deluxe Edition, the Star Edition, the monetization, all that kind of stuff, and some new information came out regarding the release date, and we had a really lengthy discussion about the release date of the game. Even more, like, I know we've been talking for the last 3 episodes about the release date of this game, but there's lots of stuff to discuss, and as the later topic we're gonna talk about, the single player. Single player might be the factor why the game not be coming out this autumn, or even in March, or God knows when. There's lots of question marks about the release date for obvious reasons. It might seem to you guys that the game is really in a good state and so on, but it's not. It's not there yet. And we're gonna talk about it and all that kind of stuff, so you know about the single player and everything. And the creative directors, of course, came out and talked about their inspirations for the next Battlefield single player. And loads of question marks about that. There's some red flags, and we're gonna talk about it. So enjoy those conversations. Thank you guys for listening. As usual, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier to support the show, get extra goodies, extra stuff. Check out our socials, leave a rating on the show, and that's kinda it. So thank you guys for listening, and enjoy the conversations.
Welcome to the BattlefieldOne Podcast, your podcast for all shenanigans around Battlefield.
No. Anyway, first topic.
Thanks, Fossey.
No. First topic of the day. Anyway, leaks, boys, leaks. Loads of leaks happened. So there was a playtest.
Leaks!
Yeah, there was a playtest happening yesterday in Asian region. EA gave Asian players NDAs and everything to sign, and then Asian players
And nobody
said,
cared.
bet. They leaked everything in 4K, crystal clear, 1080p, 60 Hz. You can see the whole game in perfect condition and everything. So thank you, Asian players, for not giving a shit about NDA and just showing us everything that is on the playtest. So
Why have I not seen the footage yet?
yeah, as soon as I linked to that Reddit, like, but I have all the footage on me. I follow some. I follow some channels and everything where they store the leaks and the footage and everything. And we're not gonna go through everything that got leaked in the playtest and everything, because at the end of the day, like me and Ray said on the last episode, it's like, well, it's Battlefield Labs, early playtest, leaks and stuff. Like, who cares? Everything's gonna change. I mostly wanted to talk about the community reactions to the playtest leaks and everything, and everyone are very impressed so far. The Battlefield community so far regarding these leaks, you know, this 4K, 144 Hz, perfect crystal clear footage, and the sound, people so far liking the game, at least from what it seems, because it actually looks like a Battlefield game, but it looks like a I don't know how to describe it. Someone mentioned Medal of Honor Warfighter with Battlefield 3. I mean, you can pick examples and references how the game looks, but regarding how the game plays right now and everything is working in the background, how the guns look, how the menus look, how the kill feed looks, how the game feels and everything. None of us played it, but so far it looks really good. The community is actually low-key getting excited about everything that's going on, and that's fantastic. Even the sound is very punchy, like Modern Warfare 2019 punchy. It does feel like you're shooting a gun, and when you shoot a sniper rifle, in the mountains in Battlefield in this new playtest and everything, you can hear the echo of the shot going through the whole map and so on, and that's a really nice detail, and it sounds really crispy, or sounds really good, or it sounds meaty. I mean, there's loads of stuff that got leaked and everything, but it's just anyway. There's no point talking about the leaks themselves, but just the perception from the Battlefield community about how the game looks is very positive, and it looks like loads of things got improved from the last couple of playtests. Game is finally shaping up to be something, what it wants to be. Animation is going to improve. The destruction is there and everything. Some maps and items finally getting some texture because they did some of the items with no texture and so on. It started to look good. It's the Battlefield community is really excited about all of it. And, that's a positive thing. I mean, we were never saying that thing after Battlefield 2042 Alpha was alive, when it went live for everyone, or the beta, and completely different, what was the word I'm looking for? Perception, for the game. When Battlefield 2042 beta was happening, it was all negative. This, just from watching the footage, just looking at the game, game looks promising. Really promising, and that's good. I mean, that's fantastic. But yeah, that's regarding the playtest that happened yesterday. So, thank you, Asian players. Thank you all the players from Asia for just leaking all this footage.
For just not giving a damn.
No, they literally said, "Here's your NDA," and they're like, "Bet, bet." Just.
You're not gonna find us anyway. What the fuck do we
It's
care?
in China, they upload footage, so they're like, oh.
I mean, it's the thing that's got me kind of cracking up the most is apply American NDA law to China.
Yeah, Chinese.
It's
Asian
a country
players,
that is notorious for IP theft and shit. And is anybody surprised at this? I am not. I'm not surprised at this at all. It's just no shit is really what it is at the end of the day. I mean, go figure. You think you're surprised by this? I mean, this is like handing keys to Fort Knox over to the best bank robbers in the fucking world and saying, "Hey man, security's not going to be here this day between this specific time. Here's the keys for this. This is the exact route you go to, but hey, please don't do it." Please? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's not even it's the stereotypical thing. I mean, this is literally the country that is known for this shit.
Yeah. So, and in the way they filmed the footage, they literally set up a camera in front of the screen, filming their TV while they're playing the game.
So they were fucking potato camming this shit. That's even better.
No, there was
great.
okay, here's the best part about all this, right? It's not about the type of because it's variety. It's the variety of what kind of different leaks you can get. You can get a screen recording, straight up from the game, or you can just set up a camera and film the TV as you play the game. There's so many or shorts or whatever. There's so much variety of different leaks. It's just well, how you feeling today? Do you want to watch this kind of leak? Someone literally uploaded 35 minutes of just a gameplay. Just straight up gameplay. Just 35 minutes gameplay.
You know what this kind of reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
The old days of pirated movies where they would just upload video of them, filming in the cinema
Yeah.
at like 120p.
I'm watching my movie through my phone, bro, while I'm watching it in real life. This became the thing now. It's like, this is the ultimate bootleg device, I guess.
Yeah, so it's just funny. Like, there's so much stuff and everything. But anyway, there's no point talking about the leaks and everything. I'm just gonna say this. Like I said, the community's reaction to all, like, what they've seen so far, really positive, really good. People actually excited. Of course, again, this is a EA game made by Battlefield Studios, at the helm of DICE, Criterion, Motive, and Ripple Effect. We don't know how the game is going to be on launch day, but so far, the first impressions, just from the early alpha playtests, looks really good. Looks really good. Weapons look fantastic. The gunplay looks somewhat actually like crisp and everything. Sound is on point, and that's only like the alpha, so you can only imagine how good it can be when the game is actually releases. So everyone are excited. Everyone are really excited, and I'm low-key getting excited too. Now, of course, with all this, there's some leaks that happened, and one of the leaks is basically the DICE started adding like monetization stuff. So like, your deluxe, there were data mines like of deluxe edition, started edition, skins, purchasable skins, all that kind of stuff. Like the general background foundation is happening there finally into the game. Now, there's a couple of things that people start speculating because of this, right? Like, okay, well, yeah, they're gonna have an open beta, they're gonna have a standard edition, they're gonna have a deluxe edition for the game. All makes sense, right? But people kind of start speculating. Okay, so they're kind of preparing Battlefield Labs to be a more broader thing. So more invites gonna be sent out later, in a weeks or whatever. More people will start playing the labs playtest and everything. But people start speculating, what if, because they're adding all this monetization that is not active in the Battlefield Labs yet, but people are wondering, what if you play Battlefield Labs and they release some, cosmetics, or they release the pre-order, like, oh, the Star Edition, the Deluxe Edition, and so on. You can play it in the Battlefield Labs, and then and when the game is fully launched, everything you earn in the Battlefield Labs can transfer to the main game. That was a simple speculation. Sounds good on paper, in my eyes. We're like, oh yeah, play the Battlefield Labs early, earn some stuff, maybe unlock base for some cosmetics, whatever the case may be, and then transfer all that to the main game when the game is launched. Sounds good on paper, but I don't think they're there yet regarding the foundation of the game. I don't think they're there yet. I think there's things still being worked on, lots of stuff being worked on and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think they're gonna do much about that. So I don't think that it's a nice speculation. It's like, oh yeah, like buy stuff early, right, and keep it, and when the game comes out. But I think there's a lot of legality, I guess.
I think that would backfire so quickly.
Yeah, and also people gonna start accusing like, oh, look at EA trying to get money from our early playtest and so on, monetize their early playtesters. Yeah,
exactly.
The optics are not there. I fully agree with that. But nice idea, but again, I don't think like they're there yet. I don't think so. It's just like, it's a nice idea, but I don't think that's possible, just because loads of things will change. And also loads of placeholders, like customization and everything, loads of placeholders in there. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like people started like, analyzing this 4K footage from yesterday, and people noticed like, oh yeah, there's loads of Battlefield 2042 assets in there, which is fine. Like, that's expected, to reuse your assets wherever you can, duh. Yeah, it's just some of it is placeholder, some of it is like leftover, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I mean, not much to say about that. I guess you guys haven't seen anything important, anything of the game so far, right?
No, nothing. I'm really trying. The thing is, I'm really kind of This kind of sounds horrible, but at the same time, I'm kind of trying to like to not really dig into these leaks or anything too much. I mean, when I see it, it's kind of one of those, oh, cool things. Because the thing is like we've said in previous episodes, it's really pointless to formulate really any kind of a solid opinion right now. And I mean, it's not a joke. It really is. So I don't want to take and say, oh, well, based on all these leaks, this is going to be great and amazing and hype and hype and hype and hype and hype. And then, you know, we finally get a hold of it and it's like, oh, well, because then now I'm going to come back on here and be like, well, kids, it's... And guess what? Now I seem like a jackass because I made an opinion on something that is as fluid as the water we drink. So it's pointless. I'm just kind of taking everything with a grain of salt and going, it's like watching your soup cook, okay? You're at this point right now where everything's kind of like nice and lukewarm and you're tasting it a little bit and going, oh, this is kind of good, but it's not done yet. So you can't really say whether it's going to be good or not. I mean, all things leading to seem to be, but there's still potentiality for things to fuck up. I mean, you could still knock that pot over and it could go on the floor and still be a disaster. Even after it's done.
Fucking 5-star Michelin chef. Enjoy your soup. Wow, shit. Just
oh, shit. Because, I mean, it's possible. If people fuck up, mistakes happen, shit changes. I mean, all bets are off right now, kids, until that shit hits public. And I mean public when nobody has to sign an easily ignorable NDA to play this shit. That's when the opinions need to start coming out. Right now, we're still in the wish list phase. I'm still sitting here going, there's still shit that they could add. I'm still wish listing. I don't give a fuck what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole that's the problem right now. The community, well, it's not a bad thing. It's amazing that Battlefield community is like, oh wow, okay, this actually looks good. You know, this is amazing and so on. Like that's good. That's a good sign that the game might be actually good when it comes out. But you're right. One wrong step and your whole soup just you're gonna spill it on the floor. All your 5-star Michelin soup is just on the floor, and then you're screaming in panic and like, oh no, what are we gonna do now? Although I wonder how a 5-star Michelin soup would taste. Like, how special does it have to be for me to like?
Mostly, I think it's placebo because I mean I can make good food at home, and it all depends upon what your taste is. Again, this is another one of those objective things. Like, I find grilled cheese sandwiches to be amazing. I'm sure there's people in this world who don't like a grilled cheese sandwich. Many people would think that's crazy, but those people exist. I mean, I know people that don't like the taste of water. My fucking dad is one of them. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
Water.
I know this is off topic. I just want to say, what's his name? The big streamer that lives with cockroaches and stuff. I forgot his name. Asmigold? Asmigold? What his name is. Anyway, my dude is disgusted by the taste of water, and he drinks it with cola. Like, ooh, water is disgusting. Let me drink with this with cola. I just randomly remember that, and it's just like, okay, sure. How bad do you have to be health-wise that you're disgusted by water? But hey, hey, I don't know, fam. Anyway, that was off topic, but I just want to mention that. It's like, okay, sure, you're fucked. Right. So, all that aside, Jason Schreier, gaming journalist, probably the most reputable gaming journalist out there, and everything he says usually comes with a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Credibility, respect, all that kind of stuff. So when Jason Schreier writes an article about something, it usually is true and is based on some good sources, good facts, good, research. And a couple of days ago, maybe last week, he wrote an article about something specific. It was about GTA related. It was GTA 6 related, which is fine, whatever. We're not going to talk about GTA 6 again. But there was a piece in the article that caught my eye. So I quote, "For other companies, Grand Theft Auto 6, slipping was a cause for panic. One developer working on a big multiplayer game told me that they had previously delayed the release date from fall 2025 to spring 2026. That was mostly because the game needed more time, but also get away from GTA 6. Now they're caught in a vice. Delaying the game a second time will be an expensive endeavor, ratcheting up the stakes for the eventual release. Then again, trying to come out alongside GTA 6 could be catastrophic. But if they delay the game again, and then GTA 6 slips again, gets delayed again, what then? There's no guarantee that May 2026 is a sure thing for GTA 6. The best hope might be released in March, April, or even early May, and I hope it's not disastrous. So why this quote is important? He mentions big multiplayer game. How many multiplayer games do we know that are coming out this year that are big, that will be concerned with GTA 6?
I'm not really hearing of any.
Right. The only multiplayer games I googled that, well, somewhat of a credibility or interest, or people would be interested is, I mean, Borderlands, but that's not really multiplayer, is it? I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is a looter shooter. So.
Yeah. Then there's Call of Duty, which I don't think Call of Duty cares what any game does. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. You're gonna get a new Call of Duty every year regardless, no matter how shit or good it is.
Because again, like I said in the last episode, GTA is gonna have a honeymoon period. And the people who are smart in the industry, they're accounting for this. And Call of Duty is probably one of them. I would almost bet my bottom dollar that couple of months that Call of Duty, that GTA is out, and it's out and about, and it's getting its heyday, and it's getting all of the spotlight, because it's going to get all of the spotlight. I mean, YouTube is just going to be murdered with fucking videos about it. I mean, I'm sure someone's going to have a goddamn speed run put up in 5 hours just because we're, fucking Gamers TM are nuts. But that being said, watch a lot of these companies that have live service games and shit go out. Watch in that maybe 2 to 3 month time span where the honeymoon period is going on. Watch them focus more on bug fixes and quality of life improvements and shit like that, because the smart devs and the smart management is going to know that after 3 to 4 months, most people are going to have been beaten the story campaign for Grand Theft Auto. And if online is not immediately available, what are these people going to do? They're either going to fuck around in single player some more, which, I mean, a good chunk of people will do. I will do the exact same thing. But there's going to be a chunk of people who are just going to leave the game at that point until online comes on, or maybe they might not have any interest in online at all. I certainly wasn't the biggest fan of GTA Online, and I don't have much plans in sinking nearly as much time in GTA 6 Online as what I did in 5, and unless it blows my fucking mind apart. But anyway, I'm digressing. And then what's going to happen is that 4-month mark's going to hit, and these games are going to drop some wow-ass bomb content. And it will be to bring them back.
So I was looking at the list of multiplayer games that are coming out later this year. I was thinking, maybe Elden Ring Night Rain. Nope, it's coming out in 13 days from now. So that's not it. So the only games I can think of that he mentioning without exposing his sources, it's literally Battlefield. The only big multiplayer game that will be coming out this year without Call of Duty. Call of Duty doesn't give a shit what everyone else thinks and what GTA is coming out.
No, they don't. They never will.
Yeah, they never care. They don't care. They have their audience and they know it. So the only big multiplayer game is Battlefield, and we already talked about it for the last 5-6 episodes maybe. It's I predicting the game was supposed to release March, maybe February, maybe April, right? And the
would have
way
made sense.
Yeah, and the way Andrew Wilson was talking about the game, this is the first time he's very vague about the release date of Battlefield game, because we usually Battlefield is coming out 2025 holiday. We don't have that yet. If the game is coming out later this year, we have 4 months to promote it?
That's not really a lot of time. What's weird is the timing of all this doesn't seem... It seems like one of two things is going to happen. They're going to blunder, and they're going to put this shit out right in the wrong threshold for GTA, which again, like I said this the last episode, it's like that the month before and the month after GTA comes out, you don't want to do shit because you're not going to get any attention. Nobody's going to care. And I fear that that's what EA is going to wind up doing with this. They're going to stupidly drop like either something big or try to do something big in order to kind of make a splash back against Grand Theft Auto. And I would hope it's going to be a humbling reminder to them just how little of a fish they are compared to Grand Theft Auto. Or alternatively, they could do the even dumber decision and release it the month after GTA comes out, which would be even more horrible timing. Like I said, they need to get this shit out like beginning of the year or holiday season so they can get things worked out so that, again, once that honeymoon period's over, people have, oh, hey, I still got Battlefield. Let's see if there's been any updates or anything like that while I've been out in, Vice City.
But I'm glad we somewhat were right on point. Was it last episode, I think? We were like thinking, okay, yeah, sure, it makes sense to release the game, in that period, before Christmas. But like, I don't think the game is ready. Yeah, Battlefield Labs is a success, but we can tell, like, yeah, okay, it's a like clearly they're cooking something, but they need more time. Clearly, this doesn't feel like a game that is ready to be released in 4 months, right? Like, sure, loads of things can happen, in the short amount of time, but again, crunch and stuff, right?
I mean, we could let's throw that. There's this factor to consider too. It could also be that what's coming out now, we know they do this. They've told us they do this. It could be very high possibility that the builds that are coming out in public that are being used right now, they are nowhere near what the actual retail build that's being worked on is. This could very well, and this could be a reason why like they don't really give too much of a shit if the NDAs are being broken, because I'm pretty sure like a couple of the devs have said.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed signals about the NDAs. They hate it. They're chasing the NDAs, but they at the same time don't chase the NDAs. It's kind of mixed.
They're not caring as much.
It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag.
That tells me that this is so far off from what the reflected material, the retail build is actually going to be, or whatever the public beta test is going to be, that justifies that attitude. And that's another reason why I'm not formulating any form of opinion on this shit, because I'm reading between the lines and I'm going, all right, guys, I'm picking up what you're putting down here. What you guys are putting out for these labs builds, it ain't what the actual build is going to be. It wouldn't surprise me if this shit is shit that they worked on like 6 months ago, or a while ago, longer than that potentially, and what they're doing is they're just doing basic network stress testing. Think about it. Think about where they just did a major test. Asia.
Assumption, yeah.
They're doing network stress testing and code stress testing, base code stress testing. Like, it's bare bones, it's bare knuckle. Think about it. What is it right now? It's bare bones. It's barely anything. There's not a lot to it. I mean, everything's as minimal as humanly possible. There's very few guns right now. So you think about it. It's a baseline of everything that's coming. There's a baseline ballistics they're working on for 5.56, 7.62, 9mm, 45. They're getting that all down pat, because I'm pretty sure all of those calibers of guns exist in the beta right now, and other guns fire the exact same caliber, so they're getting the baseline of the ballistics down. Same thing with the netcode, the responsiveness. I mean, all that shit. This is just foundational testing. That's all it is. Yeah. And I don't think it's the modernized version of what they're actually working on. I think they're taking what's going on in the testing, they're looking at the results, and they're making tweaks to that public build, but we're not going to see it for a bit. Bet on it.
So, so if EA, let's say, which I believe Jason Schreier is correct here, they were planning to release the game this autumn, but they delayed it to spring, which most of us predicted, like even a month or two ago. We were thinking they might release it this spring, not autumn, because the way that EA CEO is talking about it, like the way he's mentioning this, like, yeah, I'm not opposed to delaying beyond the 2026 year. I'm like, okay, so you thinking even releasing the game next summer, right? Not this upcoming summer, but in a year. So they even debating that. So, but again, it's expensive, all that kind of stuff. Most expensive Battlefield game in history. You need to release.
I have an opinion on the release.
Yeah, what's your opinion? Because everyone heard mine and Ray's. What's yours?
Yeah.
So, I feel like they should, take their time, obviously, make a good game. And, with Call of Duty coming out sometime during the fall/holiday season, I think putting Battlefield in between Call of Duty and GTA 6 could be a good idea, because people need something to jump the gap, between Call of Duty and
So what month you thinking?
February or March.
Yeah,
think would be a good
I'm
time.
personally going with March. Personally, I think.
Then they have an upcoming game that a lot of people are waiting for, and if it's good, a lot of word of mouth, everyone is gonna jump in. Player base will be high and healthy, and then GTA comes out, it will dive down a bit, and if DICE does the timing is right, like 1 or 2 months after GTA, just release a season, and then like, hey, we're still alive, we have content for this great game that you purchased, why not get back into it? I think that could be a good strategy, but I'm not a marketing or business guy.
Right, none of us are. I mean, and that's interesting that you brought that up as a perspective, and I mean, it's funny that we all kind of agree on when it should come out, which would be the best move for them, but for different reasons.
Yes,
it's wild. But at the same time, I'm kind of, because you brought that up about having something in order to bridge the gap. I mean, I just made the joke about Call of Duty and GTA pretty much almost damn near sharing the same fan base. Now I'm curious about, I'm pretty sure it's the same for just Battlefield and Call of Duty and GTA. Not Call of Duty. Hang on, no, don't let me fuck this up. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same way between Battlefield and GTA. Those are pretty much circles that could probably overlap each other. But I don't think the Venn diagram between all three is as tight as we think it is. I think Battlefield is a little bit more of an outlier than what GTA and COD is put together. And then you guys get what I'm getting at. So saying it's a bridge, I mean, I guess I kind of get that, but at the same time, I don't think it's that it's going to be that effective, because, I mean, the war between the two is pretty much over. I mean,
when it comes to general perception in the mainstream public, Battlefield is not even in the conversation about anything.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Battlefield Relay podcast, you're a special kind, because you actually give a shit about Battlefield. 99% of the mainstream public of gamers, they don't care about Battlefield. Battlefield doesn't exist. Battlefield is just whatever.
It's mostly a flash in the pan for them when it comes out, and that's it.
So, but doesn't mean it can't go back to that mainstream mentality. Of course it can. But at the moment, I'm telling you right now, Battlefield is not in the mainstream psyche. It's not there.
Oh, but I just thought of a way that they could fix that.
Really, it's a good game?
Well, that would definitely help. But okay, notice I just thought of this. Okay, because Doom just did this. All right, they had their public release, and then now 3 days later, it's out on Game Pass. Okay, now
that's how it worked. Okay,
I know this is because I'm getting ready to download that shit and start fucking playing it. It's about to happen after I finish a couple of other games real quick. But that being said, wouldn't it be interesting if Battlefield decided to, we're all talking about free-to-play versions and shit, right? But what about a potential Game Pass version? And what I mean by that is if you have full multiplayer access and stuff, but I would say the difference is being the level of cosmetics that you could get a hold of, and the number of customizations that you'd have access to, or let's just say the Game Pass version would get like the premium shit far later down the line. You get what I'm getting at? You kind of apply the free to play model to the Game Pass model, because this way you're going, all right, if you guys just want to play this exclusively through Game Pass, that's fine, that's whatever, but you're going to get the game, you're going to be able to go play with your friends, you're going to be able to shoot and do the things, but you're not going to get the awesome bright pink camo for your tank. You're not going to have access to the battle passes.
No.
Well, no, maybe not the battle passes. That's going too far. Yeah, no, not the battle passes. Don't cut them off from that. Because that's dumb. Yeah, that's dumb.
Cosmetics is like the biggest revenue stream that you have.
Or alternatively, you give them a wider access to it to try and pull the extra money in.
I'm going a little bit off topic with this real quick, but it's something interesting that I've watched today, and it was about why World of Warcraft isn't dead yet, right? And when Wrath of the Lich King came out, Blizzard released a mount, a sparkly horse, that made more money than StarCraft 2 ever did.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. It kind of blew my mind, right? You know, like a fucking pony for $20 on the store that you can use in World of Warcraft makes more money than a game that is highly praised, really good, and was in development for years. And then they make a horse in a week and they outsells it, you know?
Well, mathematically speaking, think about it. If you're buying the base game, okay, that's a one-time purchase. You're not buying that again. You're that's it. It's done. You're getting that $60 in for the time what it was. All right. Plus, you now have World of Warcraft have subscription fees, do they not?
Yeah, it's a subscription.
Like there's a monthly you got to pay. Yeah.
How much
so
is
you're getting income from that.
It's €12.
12, so it'd be probably like 10, 15 here.
15, yes.
Yeah, $15, yeah.
15. All right, so okay, 3, 6, 9. That's $1,500. No, $150 a year. No, that's 10. A little over 200 a year almost. My math is a little off right now.
Let's say
not
200,
Anyway,
200 a year. Let's say.
so you've now made almost $250 if not $300 off of one player in 1 year. Now, that's not including the cosmetics that they're buying and everything else, so yeah, that kind of makes sense. So now I will take and I'll amend what I was about to say earlier and go, okay, so instead of restricting access to certain things, you give them exclusive access to certain things. And I know that's going to make some brains boil and shit, but again, it's got to be about the money in some way, kids. So you give Game Pass players some extra goodies or some wild other shit that they have access to in order to buy. And it carries over, so I mean, if you want to play on the Game Pass version for a little bit, and then eventually you want some more shit that comes with the base game, you can just go and buy the base game. There's no reason to not wait for it to come on sale and buy it for $45. I mean, they're still making money off of this shit. There's ways to market it. But I would say that their biggest thing is they need to appeal to like Game Pass players and shit in order to get as many people in as possible is the point that I was trying to get at, because Game Pass is going to help them with their longevity more so than anything else.
Yeah, so it's a simple thing. Access to multiplayer and Battle Royale, and if you want the single player experience, you have to buy the game.
I like that idea. That's not a bad idea. But the single player's got to be fucking wild in order to justify it.
And I guess what you could also do is... I mean, they will probably do this for the deluxe edition, but I guess you could also do something for the standard edition if they go, they're gonna Game Pass route or something that you thought is bundle some really good cosmetics with the base game and the deluxe edition.
Well, let's go back to the previous episode me and Ray recorded. We were talking about a subscription that got leaked in the game, Battlefield Pro. At least that's the initial name so far. They will have a subscription.
I have nothing.
Yeah, but they're still. The thing is the initial market is going to look at it and go, well, I can get it on Game Pass. Why would I give a shit about buying the premium? Or buying this? So what they need to do is they need to entice people to not only buy the base game as well. They need to, for them, in order to actually do really good with this and have a good install base, they've got to get the people that are going to primarily play on Game Pass to buy the base game and then buy into the premium subscription service, which means then they're going to have, some of these people are going to have that choice. Do I want to spend the extra money in order to subscribe to the Battlefield premium shit? Is it going to be worth it for me in order to do it? Or I'm already paying $10 a month and I got base access to the fucking game as it is, and I can buy all the cosmetics and whatever other shit that I want and whatever. It's the appeal that I'm not understanding, where they think this is going to do well. That's what bothers me about that.
You're also forgetting free-to-play players.
True. For battle, are they doing free to play battle royale? Because
they will definitely be free to play battle royale. Yeah.
All right, so I mean that's a good thing though. As much as I'm not a fan of battle royale, but still.
Yeah, but battle royale is there to get the free to play players and encourage them to maybe, you want to level up your weapons, easy and more fun. Well, there's Battlefield and like the whole multiplayer section.
They're gonna pull some progression fuckery where they're gonna be like, you can't upgrade this weapon past level 10, and you can only have 2 attachments. And I would get pissed about that, but whatever.
It depends how the progression is gonna work in the game. I don't think it's gonna be that restricted because again, it's pay to win shit, like that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, you have to monetize the free to play players somehow. So I mean, sure, Game Pass, sure.
Cosmetics is usually the way to do it.
Yeah,
cosmetics and boosts.
But there's always, there's always something more, how much we can push this pendulum, to further down. Like how much we can do it, how much we can squeeze.
How much are we willing to forgive for them to attempt to whale chase?
Listen, you know what they should bring back?
Premium.
No.
What?
The battle packs.
Battle packs. Oh my god, in what shape or form? Fucking gambling, let's go.
Hey, we can meme those again.
Oh my god, stickers. Oh my god, the stickers. I still have them. I still have the.
So do I.
I still have the double XP stickers in my closet. I still have them. Finally.
Yeah, like
God.
double XP, for example, or just weapon attachments and stuff.
It does
like
well
that.
for COD. Why not?
How they worked in Battlefield 4 wasn't really bad. I mean, you had
It was early
battle
days,
pack.
yeah.
I mean, you
I
had
liked
your
it.
weapons battle packs, right? Where you got everything
You
when
get
you
attachments in there,
progressed through
remember,
the
yeah.
weapons, yeah. But you also had the chance of getting them in the other battle packs, you know?
Before everyone get confused, when we say that you can get attachments and battle packs, like it's like wannabe loot boxes, it's fine. You were not supposed to, like, you can just ignore those battle packs and just level up the weapon just fine. It was just an option for you to open a battle pack and get an attachment early. Sure.
Yeah, or like a 200% XP bonus, stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah,
how-
I kind
how
of. You know what's
25
funny?
XP
We used to
bonus do you
bitch
need?
about that system, and now we're sitting here going, "I want it back."
Well, I'm not saying I want it back. I'm just saying it wasn't that bad.
Nah, it wasn't. I kind of want it back though.
Sure.
Compared to what we get
Or-
nowadays in
or-
some games, yeah, I kind of want it back.
Yeah. Or make a marketplace like Counter-Strike has with skins, you know? You can sell your skins that you get, and
I have loads of problem with that, but
Yeah, that's opening up a whole nother can of worms that I really honestly don't
mean,
think EA wants to get involved with.
I support
Yeah, I
gambling.
guess
Let's go.
I guess it doesn't work like in that type of game.
I don't think Battlefield is. Also, I would hate it.
I don't think it needs to get involved
I
with
would
that shit
hate it.
at all.
I would personally hate it.
Like, I'm glad they kept it away from NFTs and all the rest of that bullshit too.
Ray, no, wait. Where's that article that I had, man, 15 episodes ago?
Don't you dare!
EA views NFTs as the future of gaming or some shit.
Right, I get that, but thank God it stayed out of Battlefield for right now. Is what I was saying. Why would don't break my reality?
Wow,
you
found
asshole.
it. That didn't take me too long to find it. I quote, was it 2021? EA, NFTs and blockchain games are part of future of our industry. Uh-huh.
Yeah, what's funny is I haven't heard them say anything like that in the last 2 years.
Where we at, boys? Where's my NFTs? Oh yeah, fucking garbage. Delete it. Thank
it's a
fuck.
smoked concept.
Like, so that's why sometimes you have to be careful what the companies are saying. They trying to like push a narrative, and they're like, yeah, NFTs will be great. Like, it's brutal to the game, and please continue buying our games, right? Like, how much money we can make from this, right? That's all it is.
Dude,
Like-
we knew back then it was a bunch of bullshit. That
Yeah,
it
of
was not.
course.
It was a fucking money grift. It was something that was only going to be temporary. And lo and behold, thank God it was Ubisoft that stepped on the landmine first.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Of course, it's Ubisoft.
They didn't step on a landmine of all landmines. They stepped on a goddamn bouncing Betty.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're done with this topic for now, and we can go on the main topic. Before we continue, Ray, please talk about the sponsors.
Surprise! This was not time-stamped. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, but we need to stop for a second and tell you about some important stuff. And now that we have your attention, it's time to tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keep the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
But yeah, episode 47, you paid for this.
I'm sorry.
I'm not, I don't care.
In my defense, I didn't know it was broken or it was going to break upon squeezing it gently. Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted in March of 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consisted of 41 episodes, and we've been building amazing foundations for the future with this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and anywhere else. We've also had the honor of being listened to by DICE, Ripple Effect, and other developers as well. Now, we want to share even more with you through our Patreon.
And I've never seen her. So I will be like crying and yelling, and I will not be the same person I am right now.
I don't think I'm ready for that kind of emotion. I know we're emotionally close and everything, but I don't think we're that emotionally close.
Yeah, that will be an experience of its own.
We want to thank everyone that has joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support is greatly appreciated, always was, and always will be. It's amazing, and it only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield journey. By simply becoming a free member or even subscribing to any paid tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back in return.
Right, because Call of Duty gets so annoying sometimes, I actually got so desperate I installed League of Legends again.
Oh my god. The perks of any tier is you'll get ad-free early access to all of our future episodes. You can already listen to the previous episodes ads-free as well, simply by being a free member. There's no more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ear holes, from our mouth holes, and anywhere else. You know, it's amazing, isn't it?
The only reason why CTE did as well as it did back in the day, guys, is because it wasn't locked down to secrecy. Those that couldn't participate were still able to see what was going on. That's the point that I'm getting at right now.
We're also giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making the Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we produce, from planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between. You'll get an insider's perspective on how we bring each episode to life pretty much from start to finish.
And the reason why I'm saying
I'm
that,
sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all
Ray.
my fault.
It's all your fault, Ray. How did you ruin the whole show? We need to cancel it again. Again.
Just gotta can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere with
Yeah, we need to
different
cancel
set
it
of
again.
colors.
Ray, what the fuck did you do?
And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, The Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where friends and special guests get together and talk about everything from the video game industry to movies and, whatever else is on our minds at that particular time. With more than 40 episodes already available, there's hours upon hours of content for you to listen to.
All right, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things in order.
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off.
Yeah, you got that
I
off
do
your
feel
chest.
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angelo. No, we were in
I'm not
discussion.
going to mention any names.
Trust me, these are some of the most fun and amazing conversations we have ever had on the show. Because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun. Almost like you're sitting alongside us with the conversation. Yeah.
So the reaction from the Fortnite community is like, okay, every time we see a Cybertruck in the server, it's our mission to drop everything we're doing and send that player back to the lobby.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so we post monthly recaps to let you know what you probably missed during last month's episode, and we're making sure that you're not missing anything important. Just recently, we opened a brand new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all of the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Find the link in the description of this episode or at our Patreon. No subscription needed.
You are as a
You
player.
have been measured. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been measured.
Because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we're offering a free trial that you can use at any time. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay, and we would not be offering free trials if we didn't think so.
I've seen a lot of people like literally get excited, like, you know what? This looks very familiar, clearly ripped from somewhere, but damn it, that looks good.
So, if you want to support the show and get all of these amazing extras, head on over to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content that you enjoy. Thank you for being part of the Battlefield community, and thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you on our Patreon. Now, let's get back to the show.
Anyway, welcome back, everyone.
That was great, wasn't it?
That was an amazing ad, right? Thank you so much. That was an amazing ad. Thank you. Everyone, subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Get amazing stuff. So, we finally have details about the next Battlefield single player. I am worried as fuck, by the way. So, before we continue with all of this, there was an article that EA is very proud of that it happened because they retweeted on their main Twitter Battlefield account. So, Inverse, I guess they're like a journalistic establishment. They did an interview with a couple of lead developers, writers. I'm so sorry that I haven't checked who are these people are. Oh, creative directors. Let's call them creative directors. Yeah, okay. So, two creative directors got interviewed. Wait, yeah, two. Two creative directors got interviewed at this establishment, and they were talking about the next Battlefield single player. So, I will not read you the whole article. You can read it yourself. I'll leave it in the show notes. You can just go yourself and everything. Or you can find on the Battlefield main feed on Twitter. And they were basically talking about the next Battlefield single player game. Like any creative, like saying like, oh yeah, we kind of taken inspiration from this and this and this, and we're trying to make that and that and that, right? It's like nothing much was said and everything, but basically to put it short and sweet, Sorry about the plane in the background. Oh, someone complained about the plane. You know what? I don't care. I will always mention that because new listeners and so on, like whatever. Don't care. Anyway, Ray, do you want to read this bit that in the show notes just because you read it?
You know I
badly?
can't open the notes right now, right?
Oh yeah, fuck off. Never mind. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forgot. Anyway, short summary. The upcoming Battlefield game is drawing inspiration from Alex Garland's film Civil War and the TV series Lioness, aiming to deliver a more grounded and emotionally resonant single-player experience. Developed by EA Motive, known for titles like Dead Space and Star Wars Squadrons. Also, they worked on they worked on Star Wars Battlefront 2 single-player. The game seeks to move beyond traditional military shooter tropes by focusing on talented but ordinary people put in extraordinary situations, as noted by the creative director Roman Campos Ariola. I hope I pronounced your last name properly. Executive producer Philippe Ducharme, I hope I pronounced it correctly, highlighted Civil War's influence, particularly its portrayal of journalists in navigating a fractured America, which aligns with the game's intent to explore personal stories within the conflict zones. The development team is emphasizing narrative pacing, incorporating quieter, character-driven moments alongside intense combat sequences, a technique refined during the work on the Dead Space game. Rest is just mentions that we're working with DICE and Criterion for multiplayer, so they also Motive Studios is also making multiplayer maps for DICE for the multiplayer section of the game, because if we're making a single player, maybe we can reuse some single player maps for the multiplayer, to create that cohesion or narrative, whatever the case may be.
Connection
right?
is what you're
connection,
looking for.
right? Also, don't waste resources, right? If you have a map and you can use it for the multiplayer, use it. Why not, right? It just makes sense.
I mean, the work's been done. Why waste it?
Yeah. So, long story short, of course, people went to this article trying to nitpick everything from this and so on. And I'm gonna say this. I'm not excited. Well, okay, I'm excited for a good Battlefield single player. I'm really excited about that. Problem is, I was excited before they closed Ridgeline Studios in 2023 March. Was it 2023? I'm checking. 2024.
It sounds right. Yeah.
A year ago.
Yeah, a year ago, not 2 years ago.
Yeah, more than a year ago. Just like a year or 2 months ago, something like that, they closed Ridgeline Studios, a studio that was designed to make a single-player portion for this new Battlefield game. They were basically designed to create this new rebooted Battlefield universe, right? Cinematic universe and stuff, right? This is our universe, this is our story, this is our background and everything. This is the Battlefield franchise, right? A fresh new start. And they brought Marcus Leto, the granddaddy of Master Chief, Halo, to spearhead this development of this Battlefield wannabe universe. That did not work out. The studio got closed down a year ago, 2024 March, and the whole development of the single-player game for the next title was given to Criterion Studios. 2 months later, EA announced that Motive is working on the single player, so they taken away from Criterion and they give it to Motive. Well, Criterion is gonna help in the background with whatever. So, and of course, as I read this article and they mention, oh yes, Civil War, the movie that came out in 2024, and Lioness, the TV show that came out also last year, I think. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you guys? The studio got closed last year. This new single player will take inspiration from titles. Okay, sure. No, wait. Let me finish this quote. They will take inspiration from these titles, this media that came out at the same time as the studio got closed down. Meaning everything they worked on Ridgeline Studios scrapped, deleted, not used, forget about.
Which means everything that we're going to get out of this is probably going to be some weird, incoherent Rust mess, which, yeah, is a legitimate worry of mine. The problem being is it's... The whole concept of them making us like this whole Battlefield universe is something like that we've been kind of saying they just need to do and get it over with. And so
We've been saying for 10 years now.
Yeah, we've been saying it forever, and now it sounds like they were going to do it. They had the people and the talent in order to do it, and I guess I'm thinking it probably just came down to Suit didn't like what somebody did, and they just went, no, we don't.
Hey, 1 second. I have an opinion on this as well.
I'm glad you have an opinion on a podcast.
Exactly, my guy, exactly. So remember how people were upset in Battlefield 5 about the silly-ass cosmetics and stuff like that? And how everyone praised the 4 classes and unnamed soldiers and stuff like that? And I think in the previous episode, I've also mentioned something about, having nameless soldiers is something that, you could make something up yourself and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, Battlefield doesn't need a blockbuster campaign, in my opinion. Look at Battlefield 3. You followed a squad.
Yeah.
You followed a squad in Battlefield 3.
Okay, all right. What do you consider blockbuster experience regarding first-person shooter single player? Because I would consider that a blockbuster experience.
Having these higher-of-life kind of characters, like Captain Price, for example.
Oh, okay, I get it.
You're saying it needs to be more grounded, is what you're saying.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, look at Battlefield 3. You played as Sergeant Blackburn, right? But it was all about your squad. You got to know each of them. You also played with some of them, not everyone, and then you also saw...
Well, not necessarily just your squad, other members of the military as well.
Exactly, and you saw the squad's demise, and you know what happened, and the terrorist team and stuff like that. I feel like that was very grounded. And Battlefield 4 was also somewhat grounded. It wasn't really about a squad. It was like just 3 dudes. The girl, the black guy, and Sergeant whatever his name was, right?
Pack.
Oh yeah, Pack was there as well. I forgot about him.
Rest in peace.
I guess you could say it was about a squad too, but
Oh yeah, follow them. Yeah, correct. You're the 4th character. Yeah, correct.
Exactly. The one that never talks.
I mean, Battlefield 1 campaign, I can say that that was arguably...
But
it made sense for Battlefield 1.
Yeah, it did.
But the
5...
The thing with Battlefield 4's campaign is just that, these characters did things that, someone wouldn't or couldn't do in real life, right? It was higher than life again, in my opinion.
I mean, video games are kind of like that. That's kind of their point in the first place, though. So, I mean, that'd be my counterpoint to that. And that's probably anybody's counterpoint to that. But I get where you're getting from. That is what pretty much the franchise has always been about. It's always been about you as a soldier in the greater conflict. You are not a super soldier. You're not like the god among soldiers. You are just you. And it's about everything, the chaos and everything that can be created as you as a regular person. But we're also saying that in the exact same time about games that allow you to do wild shit like Rendezvous and other trick fuckery and launch a goddamn tank halfway across the map. So, I mean, again, at its core, it's still a video game.
Yeah, but the thing is that that's player created. But I know what you mean.
Right.
I'm all for it, but the thing is that if you sell a realistic game, you should have a grounded and believable story that is not just fairy tales. Otherwise, no one will take you seriously, but that's just my opinion.
Right, and to me, that all ended after Battlefield 1's campaign, because Battlefield 1 campaign I felt was like the last like grounded, normal, believable campaign that could happen. I mean, Jesus Christ, that mission in Italy alone was like... I mean, it was
that
good
one was
shit.
a bit exaggerated.
It was a bit extra and a bit exaggerated, yeah, but I mean, it was still kind of one of those like Billy Badass moments. I mean, the game was grounded for the most part. It had to be for the era that it was, but it still allowed you to be in a video game and have some of those wild Billy Badass moments. But you get what I'm getting at? I mean, somebody could say, but none of them are 100% grounded in reality. I mean, the reality is some of those guys that, got fucking shell-shocked in the goddamn tank in Battlefield 4, that tank would be down and sitting on the side for a hot minute to get checked out. Like, a squad wouldn't just jump right in that bitch and run off.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's still running fine. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not protocol.
I mean, I guess
there's a lot of shit that's like that.
The thing is, we could talk about this for hours, right?
But we don't want it to be Arma either, do we?
Yeah, that's true as well. But tell that to Battlefield community.
Oh, don't get me started about that.
I feel like the community is very divided by it as well.
Oh
It's an arcadey, grounded military shooter. Can we just leave it alone? Leave it at that. That's what's always made it fun. It has its most base in reality, but it doesn't. I mean, somebody could argue 2042. Oh, what are you fucking talking about that? That's warped, bent reality, but it's still kind of all hypothetical too.
Wait,
based
Battlefield
on shit that
2042?
we've
Don't get me
been
started
working
about
on.
Battlefield 2042. No, fuck that. That
Right,
some,
but
that is some
that
fantasy
is
shit
that
I
is
don't want to
the
hear
that is
again.
excessively wild, crazy shit. But at the same time, if you look in some of the technology that we're fucking developing with active heads-up displays and shit like that, a lot of that shit,
I'm sure if
it's
you
not
go
that far off.
nitpicking, yeah. But going back on this
If
article,
we really want to dig into it,
yeah. Also, I think pretty sure we talked about it, like episode 6 maybe. I think we were talked about storytelling. Go listen to that episode. We had a really good conversation about that. Yeah, episode 6 about why storytelling matters in Battlefield. That's a really good episode. I'm proud of that we made.
Another thing that is very much needed, in my opinion, when you have a multiple games running series, is a consistent story. You know how they brought back, I don't know his name, the black guy from Battlefield 4, I'm sorry.
Irish.
How they brought him back in Battlefield 2042 and they pretty much butchered the entire story of Battlefield 4 with 2042. At least that's what I have in that's what I recall. And also, another interesting thing is that in Battlefield 4 we saw the return of Dimitri from Battlefield 3.
Yeah, and then fucking dies.
Yeah, and I don't know how he ended up in a Chinese prison. But that's another talk for another day.
Yeah, but Battlefield 4, even though it was a continuation of Battlefield 3, there was loads of like question marks, like, how did we get here and so on. Like, maybe there was some cut stuff and so on. I get it.
or
like,
why for that matter.
Yeah. Sometimes it was like some really questionable decisions, like why. But going back on this article, yeah, like I said, okay, great. When you're a creative director, right, you think about, like any creative person, right, you look at inspiration, like, okay, you need to make the next Battlefield game. So, of course, you're going to go through all the war movies and think, yeah, that looks good, that looks fine. Maybe we could do something like that. Like, it's normal to go through all different media and get inspired by something. It doesn't, just because they mentioned Civil War, the movie, like, that came out last year, and that TV show that I never watched, I just saw a clip of it, and I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it's gonna be like that, but they can, like, let's say, like, take normal people, put them in some extraordinary moments, right? Sure, good, simple goal to strike, to go for characters. Makes sense, right? Because we all agree that Battlefield kind of shines better when you're playing as just a normal dude, or a normal girl, right?
Yes, and I too liked the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so I think it's a nice goal to strive for. But because they mention these media titles, that means whatever they were working on a year ago, scrapped entirely, destroyed, removed, whatever, forget about it, never happened, never existed. And because of that, I'm worried that this single player is gonna be absolute dog shit. Prove me wrong, but the signs are there. Yeah, you can talk about, put, characters, like normal people in these moments and everything, cover the war and all that kind of stuff. Great goals, great ideas. My dude, you started working on this like a year ago, not even a year ago. And we don't even know at what production stage they are. Because pre-production takes ages, right? Just because they started working on it, like, when it was announced, like, March, right? Like I said, March last year, that Criterion is going to be working on the single player. I'm like, oh no, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be bare bones as hell. And then 2 months later or something like that, EA says, oh, EA Motive is making that single player game and Criterion is helping. So that means whatever Criterion was working on also scrapped because we gave it to another studio. So, and that also takes pre-production. Motive is working, okay, all right, let's figure out what we can do. 4 months, 5 months, or whatever, before New Year's, some sort of pre-production. Okay, we have a plan what we want to do. January comes. Okay, now we can work on this thing and try to make it. Like, there's no fucking time. That's why the
Ladies
release
and gentlemen, video game development.
Yeah, this is why the autumn release date in my head doesn't make any fucking sense, because you have no fucking time.
Maybe
You
we'll
have
get the
no
maybe we'll
fucking-
get the single player campaign later.
You know what? Not a bad idea. Why not? Release the multiplayer only and then single player later. I think that would be a nice thing. Just drip.
You can
drip
buy
feed
it
that
for
shit.
$20. You can buy the single player campaign for $20.
If you're free to play, you know, if you play Battle Royale only and just like, oh, single player, you can play like for, I don't know, $10-15. Why not? I mean, sure, people. I don't think it's gonna be that profitable though, just because people are gonna watch the live streams. of
No,
some
what's going to
streamers.
happen is exactly that. Yeah, people are just going to be like, why should I pay the $10-15 extra for single player, which is something that used to be just included by default. It used to be the main game, and now it's the second thought. So I'm just going to sit and watch a Let's Play on YouTube about it while I play the multiplayer that I've already paid.
Unless the single player is some sort of replayable co-op mode. Unless. That's the only way I can think of. You can.
There would have to be replayability to it, which means it would have
Yeah.
to be exceedingly well made and the most theatrical best thing in the world to make me want to replay it, because I don't really replay single player games that often unless they're that damn good. Or a reason to. Like, New Game Pluses these days aren't even that impressive enough. So
You know what would make me go back to a single player game? Unlockable content for the multiplayer.
well, Battlefield 4 did dog tags and guns.
And guns,
Exactly.
yeah, they do guns.
That's what I had in mind as well.
It's not a bad idea. We accepted it in the past. It wouldn't be anything I wouldn't accept now. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's kind of what needs to be there in order to sell single player in the first place. Is there needs to be content and a reason that's tied to multiplayer for it. So they need to keep that. Camos, skins, you know, charms, whatever. Attachments, guns themselves.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm really worried about the single player for this game. Like, because, yeah, sure, the creative directors, like any person working on a creative endeavor, right? You want your work to be as best as possible, as creative as possible, exciting as possible, unless you're Bungie stealing artwork from artists. if anyone knows, everyone knows. I'm glad you do.
Hell yeah, my guy.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, oh god, fuck Bungie. Yeah, it's like I'm really worried about this thing because there's no time. There's literally no time to do anything good. There's no time. Yeah, I'm listen. Godspeed, Motive. Godspeed. You do your best. But Jesus Christ, I'm so freaking worried it's gonna be an absolute shit show, absolute disaster when it comes to single player. And
Best of luck, and I want you to know we're all counting on you.
This actually might be like the Modern Warfare 3 situation, just in Battlefield. Great multiplayer, single player questionable, and Battle Royale maybe will be good. But I don't know. It's just like I'm really worried. Like, and also, but the idea that I guess it's cool, like Civil War, like in America. I guess that's what they were aiming for. Like from the leaked concept art, there will be some maps based in America. So that's cool. I guess a lot of people will enjoy that, I guess. But I don't know, like I'm worried. I'm actually really worried about the single player. Other than that, I don't know what else I can add here, just other than just like, well, Godspeed to you guys, because yeah.
Hope you get it right.
Yeah, hope you get it
That's all I gotta
right.
say.
Yeah, hope you get it right. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be oh boy, it's gonna be a fucking disaster. Just like, oh, it's gonna be dog shit.
It might not. I mean, let's not be
I mean, yeah,
100%
I
sure.
mean-
I mean, there's like that sliver of hope I still have left.
I mean, it's not like Motive actually quite talented studio when it comes to single player games. They actually know their shit.
Right, I'm
So
not worried about the people that are working on it. I'm worried about how goddamn long they've got to get her done
Yeah.
and what they had to work with from the get-go.
But I do wonder why Ridgeline Studios got shut down and everything. I wonder what was that moment. They're like, you know what, we need to shut down the studio and take all the developers, transfer somewhere else and work on something else. Like, I wonder what the fuck happened. I really want to know what the hell happened that was not acceptable for EA. I was speculating maybe Vincent Pill and DICE were not on the same page with Marcus Leto. Maybe Marcus Leto wanted like a reboot, and DICE and other studios maybe like no, we want to continue the story or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I really would love to know what happened, and maybe we'll know one day. Maybe I will invite Marcus Leto one day, in a year or two. Like, listen, Mr. Leto, please, can you tell us what the fuck happened?
Yeah, but listen, just because you have some creative differences, you don't shut down an entire studio.
And the studio that haven't even showcased anything important and so on. Like, they were made like 2 years, and they closed after 2 years.
Bro, we know that just came down to money. It really, that's what it came down to.
Yes,
it wasn't that there. I'm sure they had something to show, and corporate was just like, eh.
Wait, I need to find that. Like, wait, I think it's tradition now that every time we talk about Singleplayer, I have to read this quote from Ridgeline Studios website that is not active anymore. Fun fact: if anyone wants an update on that website, they finally shut down Ridgeline Studios website. Finally.
Took a while.
Took them a while, yeah. I remember we had Westy on, and we were making fun of it, like, oh, the website is still up, right? Like, it was like 7-8 months ago. It's still up. I'm just gonna read this quote that I think should be tradition every time we talk about the single player. They said on the website, our promise. We're here to create immersive narrative experiences within the Battlefield TM franchise and bring players memorable new characters, amazing spectacle, and thrilling experiences. Of course, they will not succeed with that promise because Ridgeline Studio doesn't exist anymore, but we can put this promise on this next Battlefield single player. Still can do it.
I don't know. I don't think we can. That's different people.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
different
maybe. Maybe I'm being a bit douchebaggery about it. Yeah,
it just needs to be playable at this point and passable, I guess, which sucks. I mean, because again, the bar's got to be lowered. But I think we're beating dead horses at this point, and we're getting to the point where we gotta wrap this baby up.
Okay, so as we're wrapping things up, I'm just gonna say I could update the website. Okay, so anyway, the website thing, just as we end. Still collecting feedback, so please join Patreon as a free member and so on. If you have a laptop or PC, whatever, please join the Patreon and go through our website and just give us feedback. And because you're gonna give us feedback, I'll give you a free Patreon subscription. That's a thing. So I already promised to some people. Some people gave us feedback, and as promised, I gave them the subscription and so on. So just go to Patreon, find that article where I talk about the website. Just use the website on your laptop, PC, whatever the case may be. Mobile doesn't work yet. I know. Mobile doesn't work yet. Working on it. That's going to be later. After we establish the foundation for the website, we'll optimize the mobile version of the website. But until now, if you have any thoughts or everything that you think that should be on the website, please go to Patreon, join as a free member, and give us feedback. There's a Google Forms link there. Just give us the feedback, and I'll send you a Patreon subscription for free for a whole month. And of course, other than that, I have no announcements other than like follow our socials, support the show, join Patreon, leave a rating wherever you're listening to this podcast or watching this on YouTube, wherever. Leave a like, leave a rating, just share it everywhere, share it to your mom, share it to your family, share it to your friends, let them know that, hey, there's a cool Battlefield podcast just there for you to be listened, just that.
And for those who have been, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the continued support. So that being said, Andre, you got anything else to add before we get out of here?
Andre, come on. You have to close the podcast off. Come on. Say something. Say something nice.
Oh, my God. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't improvise.
How's it? What are you gonna do after the podcast?
I'm gonna do the dishes and then I'm gonna watch a Studio Ghibli movie because I'm going to fly to Japan in 2 weeks. So I gotta immerse myself in some culture.
Okay. Okay.
You have fun doing that, and ladies and gentlemen, you guys have fun with your days.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate the support and everything you've given us. We don't need to go over this again. That being said, good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening.